Hey everybody, what's going on? It's me, Brian Jescador from the review. Let's get this shit started, shall we? So today I'm going to talk about is the original Rush Hour. I have seen all three Rush Hour movies. I don't despise the sequels at all. I don't know why people shit on the sequels, but I don't. I love all three movies. They're all great. They're all great in their own way. But I don't wish to talk about all three of them because it's too much. I just rather talk about one out of the three, or one or two out of the three. I'd rather talk about one out of the three movies, because to be honest, I think me talking about all three of them will be a waste of camera time. So I'm only gonna talk about the first one, and that's it. So yeah, Rush Hour came out in September 1998. It was the first entry of the Rush Hour trilogy. Yeah, September 18th, 1998 is when it came out in theaters, and the streaming came out around July 2008. Box office made $141.2 million dollars. The movie that stars Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, right? A Chinese diplomat's daughter is kidnapped in Los Angeles. He calls Hong Kong detective Inspector Lee, right? Jackie Chan, to assist the FBI with the case. But the FBI doesn't want anything to do with Lee, and they dump him off in the LAPD, who assign wisecracking detective, right, the biggest loudmouth, Detective James Carter, played by Chris Tucker, who I like to call him Daxter. You know why you call him Daxter? It's because he talks too much. You ever play Jack and Daxter? Any of y'all ever play Jack and Daxter? Yeah, he reminds me of that character because he just talks a lot and he can't shut up for once in his life. No, no hate to Chris Tucker's or his character. He's funny, but it's just that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Daxter from Jack and Daxter. The that PlayStation trilogy. Yeah. So it doesn't. This movie doesn't really will not win any awards for its originality. The combustible chemistry between its stars means Rush Hour hits just as hard on either side of an action comedy divide. This is some of Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker's best work and best comedy, and that's a fact. That's not an opinion. I'm just joking, but it's definitely true. Nothing can top this. No other action comedy body cop movie can top this. This is the best one, unbeatable. It's one of my favorite guilty pleasures of all time. Two legends with from different genres coming together to make a movie like this is risky but works. Like never a dull moment in this movie. You know, I watched it as a kid with my parents. I always watched this movie with my parents. I used to watch it with my mother and my stepdad, who loves all three Rush Hour movies and is into Jackie Chan. So I used to watch it with my real dad too, all the time. It's every weekend. Sometimes, mostly every weekend, especially when I was a kid. Such a class. This movie is a classic, a 1998 classic. Great work with Jackie, and Chris. It was like really comedic with Carter and all the scenes. I had a great time with this movie. For many reasons, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker are hilarious together. They have like a great chemistry. Also, think this movie does a great job of balancing humor with a genuine action movie. And the fight choreography, holy moly. The action sequences were amazing, and they alone make this movie worth watching. Overall, really solid. It's a very classic body cop comedy with tons of great choreography. Great shots. Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan's chemistry is just awesome and entertaining. Like, it's one of the best comedy movies of all time. You know, it's a hilarious action comedy movie. Um, has like a great screen chemistry. You know, classic late '90s, just enough comedy, action, buddy cop, all put together. I mean, Rush Hour is like the perfect balance between action and comedy. You know, funniest film I've ever seen. It's simply top three best trilogies behind The Dark Knight. Well, not actually. The Dark Knight's pretty overrated. I only like the original Dark Knight. I don't like Dark Knight Rises. People say that it's like the best movie trilogies of all time, to either from the 2000s or beyond. You know, the 2000s and beyond. Even though this one came out in '98, but the entries came out in the 2000s. So it says it's like the best 2000s trilogy movie trilogy. Um, behind the Dark Knight and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, even though the Spider-Man 3 sucks. No, here are my favorite trilogies, and you can disagree with me if you want. My favorite trilogies would have to be Toy Story trilogy, the Toy Story trilogy. Um, and dare I say it, even the Tron trilogy, even though the third one sucked, just like Spider-Man 3. Um, let's see, what other trilogies do I like? Mission Impossible. Even though I actually don't like Mission Impossible after three. Like, you know, the one with Tom Cruise. You know, Mission Impossible trilogy. I like that trilogy. And let's see. I'm not gonna say Star Wars or Matrix trilogy because they're kind of overrated. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. Everybody stole those favorite trilogies. I actually prefer my personal favorite trilogies. Oh, and Bill and Ted. You know, Bill and Ted is my other favorite trilogy so far. Yeah, so those are my other favorite trilogies other than Rush Hour. Yeah, this movie is amazing. Love the humor, the stunts, the filming, the storyline. This is a feel-good action comedy with lots of amazing twists. I love Jackie Chan's in this movie. He's like a legend in this movie. You know, I think it's the best out of the three. Arguably the best out of the three. The Rush Hour trilogy. You know, interesting. If I had watched it in the theater, I would have been quite satisfied. But it's a work that doesn't really belong to the streaming era. This movie is great. You know, and I think, you know, Chris Tucker is definitely one of the best to ever do it in comedy, in the comedy genre. You know, he never fails to make us laugh. Jackie's acting and stunts were like the saving grace for this body cop movie. I'm sorry. Chris Tucker was cool in every scene, but it was a bit one tone. If a bunch of officers were killed or injured, and his character still saw an opportunity to make wisecracks. You know, this movie is probably 28 years old at this point. Well, it's about to be 28 years old this September. You know, I saw it just last week for the first time in years. We should celebrate its 28th anniversary of this movie. It's incredible. You know, it still makes me straight up belly laugh every time I watch it. You know, I know every scene word by heart. It still makes me laugh. I mean, I watch this movie every time life starts to kick me around. It gives me like the last I need to stay positive. The stunts are very well done, and even if for its time, the chemistry between Chan and Tucker definitely shines in the scenes where they are together. 28 years of appreciation, you know. Definitely two thumbs up. Definitely a 5 star for me. It's a nice watch, good humor, good action scenes, great fight choreography. I don't know if I said that right. this is one of the better action comedy movies. You know, Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan like have a great chemistry, like I've been saying. Let's see, you know, let's see, yeah, goated '90s comedy. That's what I would say. Comedy chemistry between Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan is just brilliant. You know, though a bit over the top at times. You know, Rush Hour is like a perfect blend of action comedy, best character, Lee, best quote. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That's what I like. That's what I feel like saying to some of these idiots that don't understand what I'm saying. Carter, best scene, the war song. Best piece of score, jumping the bus. There you go. Those are some of the favorites. My favorites. Um, yeah, I've watched Rush Hour. I don't know how many times, but I have watched it many times, and I have to say that it's still a fantastic combination of action and comedy. The chemistry between Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker is undeniable. They complement each other perfectly. The fight scenes are like incredibly well choreographed. Choreographed. I meant to say choreographed. I don't know how to say that right. Sorry. Showcasing Jackie Chan's fighting skills. The humor in the movie is excellent. I couldn't stop laughing out loud. Overall, it's a fun movie that keeps you in suspense from start to finish. This is my favorite comedy action film. You know, fast paced and fun. Hard to believe Jackie is faking his command of the English language most of the time. It's a little risk in some parts, like Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker make a hilarious effective pair. Plus, the action sequences are dazzling, especially with Jackie Chan's moves. Rush Hour was still fun to watch decades after it came out. The chemistry between Jackie Chan, I keep repeating myself, I'm sorry, but it's true. Their chemistry is awesome. It makes this movie work. I realized that the film was my childhood introduction to Jackie Chan, which is the same for many American viewers. You know, us Americans. You know, as a 5-year old in 2000, it's a great showcase of his talents and abilities. The stunt work is fantastic and adds to the plot rather than pauses it. I forgot how many swear words there were in the 1998 flick, or maybe I was just more sensitive to it while watching with when I was a kid. Well, actually, I wasn't sensitive as a kid. I didn't even get it. I didn't even get some of these. I didn't even get some of the jokes and the swear words as a kid. But I still think Rush Hour is a buddy cop comedy which holds up quite well. It's one of those movies that it's unforgettable for me. Perfectly blends comedy, action, that feeling of being somewhere unfamiliar, trying to navigate into a mystery. Watching Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker together is pure magic. Their chemistry is off the charts. Jackie's martial arts scenes are jaw dropping, and Chris's quick wit keeps me laughing no matter how many times I watch it. This movie makes me go back to my childhood. You know, where so many of its lines became inside jokes with you know, my friends back in the day. Back then. Even now, it still holds up. It's wild, outrageous, and ridiculously entertaining. For me, Rush Hour isn't just a movie; it's a favorite memory I love revisiting. Absolutely a must-watch if you haven't seen it. What else haven't I talked about? I keep repeating myself. I'm sorry. I don't know what I wrote down. Oh, you mean the part where they were trying to solve the bomb issue, right? The poor little girl and the council's, the council and his daughter getting kidnapped. I hate fucking people who kidnap, especially children. Like I hate when people kidnap children. They deserve to go to hell for that. Um, yeah, then you know they did what they could to save that little girl's life, right? I didn't find the little girl annoying, to be honest with you. I did not. I felt bad for her because she didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve to get kidnapped over something, over greed and stuff. Um, yeah, phenomenal movie with two main actors did a great job working together to make this story fun, humorous, and adventurous. Do you not understand the 5 stars coming out of my mouth? It's awesome. Great movie. A must watch. Yeah, I had my fun talking about saying nothing but great things about this original Rush Hour movie. I've seen 2 and 3. They're great too, but this one is the best one in my opinion. So I'm only talking about this one. I hope you guys have a nice day.